Welcome back to another narration. So I'm just going to be cleaning out all of my animal cages today. And so we're starting with Scotchy since he has the biggest cage and he is the oldest. So I'm just trying to get him out of the cage now, and he put up quite a fight because he kept trying to grab onto things with his tail. So that took quite a bit to get him out, but I did eventually get him. And I'm just going to show him off because he is an absolutely beautiful boy. He'll actually be turning 5 this August, and he's the animal I've owned the longest. So I'm putting him in a critter keeper, which I've never actually done. Normally when I clean his tank, I just have him sitting next to me and I monitor him. But this is a lot easier and I think safer for him because then I can leave the door open and not have to worry about the cat. So now that he's in the critter keeper, I'm going to just be taking out everything from his tank. So now I'm going to be taking out the moss from his tank so that way I can rewash it and reuse it because it's not completely dirty yet. Then I'm going to be removing all of the old substrate, which I really wish I had gloves for this part, and for like all the other parts I just wish I had gloves to clean with, but I do not. So I'm just using paper towel to grab everything. Using this reptile safe disinfectant by Zoomed. It's called Wipeout, and I'm just going to be spraying that all over the tank and then wiping down the tank. Normally this is a pretty simple part, but Sketchy tracks something all over his tank that was really hard to get off. I think he stepped in his food and it dried, so it took a lot of scrubbing to actually get that off. Spray everything down with water just to make sure no chemicals are left, and now I'm going to be cleaning off his screen, which I really hate and I never feel like I get completely clean, but I try my best just to rub through all the holes and stuff that he's tracked on it with paper towel. It actually worked pretty well this time. Adding in his bedding, which is cypress mulch. It's forest floor. The rest of the video cut off, so this is all I have. A little bit of a different approach to cleaning off his leaves. Normally, I take every single individual leaf and I wipe it down with reptile safe disinfectant, and then I wipe it down with water again. But that takes a lot of time, and I don't feel like I really get all of the leaves, so I'm just soaking them in really hot water and scrubbing them, and I think this really worked, and it definitely cut down on time. But I will show you guys when I do Clyde's tank how I normally do the leaves. So now I'm just putting everything back in his tank. leave his live plant out this time just because he will be having crickets in his cage and I don't want them to eat the live plant, especially since it's been growing really well. Up these bamboo things. Normally when I put them up, I try to envision like if there's any bald spots where he might fall. If I'll put these where he can catch himself so that way he doesn't end up getting hurt. I always put the one at the very top because he absolutely loves it and sometimes he'll just sleep there out in the open. Now the smaller one actually broke on me. The joints for the suction cups actually keep falling out, but when they're in the tank they don't like crack under Scotchy's weight or anything, so I haven't taken it out because it has yet to collapse while in the cage. But I'm just kind of disappointed with the quality that it would break so easily, and I haven't had these all that long. Maybe not even a full year yet. But other than that, I do really like these. Okay. I hardly ever see Scotchy fired up anymore. I probably would say he's not 100% fired up, but he has very dark base and cream. Hi? Hi, baby. Oh yeah, just my gorgeous boy. Yeah. Okay. Very cool. He's gonna be missing his favorite plant. Okay. Bye-bye. Please say that my camera kept stopping the recording, so the first bit of this part is a little choppy, just a warning. On to Sushi's tank after Scotchy's. And removing all of the decorations. Scrubbing down the sides of the tank with this sponge, which is meant to not scratch acrylic, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say that I clean off the filter and the heater every other time I clean the tank. I take them out and actually scrub them down. So now I will just be siphoning out all of the water and making sure that I get into the gravel to pick up any little things that have fallen to the bottom. And I did about 25% water change. I think maybe a little more than that. Showing you guys, I put everything out of his tank onto a towel and I siphoned all the water into this big blue bucket that I have. So now I will be cleaning off all of his decorations just using really hot water. When you use soap, it's actually bad for the fish, so I just rinse them off in hot water and scrub them down. Now I'm just moving moving the gravel around, making it look nice again, and then I will be adding in all of the decorations that have just been cleaned. Now I will be filling up the tank again. I use this pre-dechlorinated water by Aqua, and I buy this just at Walmart. I think they also sell it at Petco, and I just like it because then I don't have to worry about mixing a dechlorinator with tap water and stuff. This is just really convenient and nice. This part of the video was meant to show me re-releasing Sushi into his tank, but it ended up cutting, but you can kind of see me doing it, so I decided to keep it in. And there's my beautiful beta boy, Sushi, in his tank, looking all good and fresh. I think he may have a few tears on his fins, actually, so I will be treating that next week, but other than that, he looks absolutely gorgeous, doesn't he? Be moving on to Clyde's cage, which even though him and Scotchy's cage cleaning is basically the exact same, I still wanted to film it just, I guess, kind of as a review. So there's Clyde. He's absolutely stunning and adorable. And now I'm trying to get him into the Critter Keeper, which he gave me quite a run for my money, but he's in there. And I just sprayed it down to give him some water, and now I'll be removing tank decorations. I will be removing all of the old substrate from the bottom of his tank. We'll be using Zoo Med's Reptile Safe Disinfectant just to wipe down all of the cage walls. Spray everything down again with water just to make sure there's no harsh chemicals left on the surface of the glass. I will be laying down the fresh new substrate, which once again, just like in Scotchy's cage, I use cypress mulch. This is forest floor. So how I clean this vine in this video is normally how I clean out Scotchy's vine. I spray it down with the disinfectant and then I spray it down again with water, once again to remove any leftover chemicals. Just simply rinsing off this rock. now I'm redecorating the tank. For some reason my camera kept stopping the recording, so this part's a little choppy, but you get the picture basically. And so after I put these in, I'll be fighting with his vines, which are pothos. I think they're by flukers, and I really like how they look in the tank, but they are really annoying to deal with and fight with, just a heads up. Now comes the hermit crab cage, which, since they were molting underground from the day I got them, they've molted for a month. They are actually finished molting. I figured they hadn't been moving around a lot in the tank, so I decided not to change the substrate this time, and instead I just mixed it up to help rehydrate the substrate. However, the crabs did like still dig in the substrate, so I didn't move around the substrate where they were, just so I didn't end up burying them. But here you can obviously how much moisture the substrate is in that one spot versus the other. And now I'm just going to clean off the food dishes off camera. I'm filling that up with some salt water, just topping it off, and then I'll be adding in the decorations and the water bowls, and that's all I really did for their tank. Going on vacation, I gave them 2 mineral blocks, and then I gave them a little bit of fish food because I don't think that will rot in the tank since it is meant to get wet, and I know that they can't eat fish food, so that's what those little red bits are. And now just showing an overview of the tank. And that little hole right there is actually where one of the crabs was dug down. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.